Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm Don, this is Rockin' the Country. I've got another gift request for Dan Sigurdsson and his wife Tracy's 36th anniversary. And this comes from Savannah, their granddaughter. So Savannah, thank you for the gift, my dear. Dan and Tracy, happy anniversary again. I did another one just before this. Oh, all right, so it's Corb Lund featuring Jaida Dreyer, and I did a reaction to Jaida a while ago. Jeff Cather made a gift to the channel, and Half Broke Horses. Jaida is from Thunder Bay, Toronto, Canada. I'm wearing my Canada hat because Dan and Tracy live in Canada, and Corb is from Canada, so this is a Canadian theme thing, personnel-wise. So happy anniversary again, Dan and Tracy from Savannah. Let's see what Corb's got. Definitely sounds like a song for Dano.
Well, I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
Well, I think you ought to try gin.
Well, gin sounds kind of risky, babe.
Whiskey makes me cringe.
Yeah, but whiskey makes you frisky, babe.
Oh, much to my chagrin.
Well, I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
Well, I think you ought to try gin.
Whiskey. Whiskey makes me feel as though I'm smart and tough and tall. It makes me think of things I never thought about at all.
That's true.
And I don't know why anyone wouldn't wanna at least try a drop of corn or rye or wheat or barley before they die.
Whiskey makes you do things that perhaps you might not. It's a demon every drink and there's a fight in every bottle. Whiskey makes you act as though the whole world owes you something. And I love you, but when you're that high, you ain't all that dumpling.
Well, I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
Well, I think you ought to try gin.
Well, gin sounds kind of risky, babe.
Oh, whiskey makes me cringe.
Yeah, but whiskey makes you frisky, babe.
Oh, much to my chagrin.
Well, I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
Well, I think you ought to try gin.
I'm going to say that Corb sounds a little bit like Ray Wiley here. There's something in it. I'm like, who does it sound like? And it's Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Gin seems so sophisticated, classy, crisp and clean. Hints of piney juniper of England and the Queen. It makes me feel so ladylike and it gives me what I need. And Lord knows with how we're living, I'll take any help I see.
Well, when you're drinking gin, you put your nose up in the air. You strut around the room and act like I'm not even there.
Most times you're not.
You slur your words and paw at every rich man through the door. If I want to taste that bitter, I'll go find a 2x4. Well, I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
Well, I think you ought to try gin.
Well, gin sounds kind of risky, babe.
But whiskey makes me cringe.
Yeah, but whiskey makes you frisky, babe.
Oh, much to my chagrin.
Well, I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
Well, I think you ought to try gin.
I think you ought to try whiskey, babe.
I think you ought to try gin.
Maybe I
It
have.
reminds me of Reba.
Fire.
It's like a train. Woo woo. That's pretty funny. It reminds me of the George and Tammy's "You're the Reason Our Kids Are Ugly," where they just go back and forth at it and sort of kind of ripping into each other, but you know, like not in a mean way, in a truthful way. She's a little snooty when she drinks her gin, and he just thinks he's all of that when he's drinking his whiskey, and they think the other one ought to sort of like adopt the other one's ways a little bit more. He should become classier, maybe try gin. And he's like, I want you to be frisky. Drink that whiskey. And she's like, much to my chagrin. You don't hear that word too often in songs, chagrin. It's a good word. I don't even use it that much. It's more of an expression. All right. And also, Savannah, you should not know this song. I'll go all papa on you right on this one right here. This one, you should not know this song. You're too young to know this song. But anyhow, yeah, Dan and Tracy, that is from Savannah. I'm not going to rate that song. I'm going to let you guys chime in on this and decide what rating it deserves. I liked it a lot. I like Jana's voice a lot. Jaida, one of my like surrogate kids in the sense, her name's Jana. But Jada's voice, love it. And I love her presentation. She's got a performance quality and a voice that makes you want to listen to what she's got to say. And Corb too. And in this song, this is the first time I've made the connection, I think, but he reminded me of Ray Wiley Hubbard in this song, just the way he was delivering his lines. Not quite as dry as Ray Wiley, but certainly he just came out with it. So, yeah. All right. Well, happy anniversary, Dan and Tracy. If this is Savannah's idea of what things are like, maybe it's an accurate depiction of life, and so be it. This is as long as love is in the house, you can go back and forth like this and have fun with it. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.